Yo, what's up, guys? Nico here. Hey, today's topic is isolation or insulation. I know a lot of us have been isolated recently. Got me to thinking, though, about times of my recovery. And in my recovery, I didn't utilize a facility. Mine was a lot more faith-based. But what I had to do is I had to isolate myself. Isolation is not fun whatsoever. I know what it's like to be completely cut off without being told to. But it brings up a topic, and that topic is isolation or insulation. I want you guys to think about that for just a moment. Isolation is when you're by yourself, you don't have anybody around. Insulation is when you go ahead and start to put things around you that kind of are helpful. Growing up, I did construction. I was part of my life experience. I didn't want to go to high school, so I told my mom I was going to drop out after the 8th grade, and she was not having it. So she got me a job as a laborer on a construction site, and I started learning about construction, laying concrete foundations, framing out stuff. I learned about putting in insulation into walls, throwing on drywall, taping it up, throwing on mud, painting, all that good stuff. So got me to thinking that when I was really in my days of recovery and I had committed to myself to make a change, I isolated myself. And when I say I isolated myself, I stopped talking to the people that I was hanging out with, because most of them were people that I was using with. I stopped going around certain places because, again, most of the places that I frequented, there was dope, there was some sort of substance there. And I wasn't strong enough at that time to say no to it. So I had to go ahead and cut it off. That's what I had to do. I had to isolate myself. I think about it, and isolation wasn't fun for me, but it was helpful for me. I want to switch it around because sometimes people hear isolation and it has a negative connotation to it. I want you guys to remember that you're the hero of your story. You're the hero of your recovery. You're the main character in this saga that you call life. And as being the hero, look at Batman. He had the Batcave. Superman had his own little lair. Spider-Man had his own little lair too. These places, they had areas for these superheroes to go back to. So what's your den? Where's a place that you can go ahead and go back to and get back into a balance? Where's a place that you go ahead and meditate, get your zen back, do some quiet time, whatever it is, however it is, where's your den? Where's your place of isolation? Because we all kind of need that sometimes. I got individuals that I know who are parents, and sometimes they have to hide away from their kids just so that they can get a moment of time by themselves. So it's not only applicable to addicts, it's applicable to everybody. Sometimes we just need moments by ourselves. For me, again, one of the moments that I spend by myself is cruising around town. I love to take drives. And it's kind of my little den, my little lair. And I know when I need to go ahead and go back to it. I know when I need to get into my lair, and I know when I need to kind of recoup myself, rebalance my mind, because life hits you. Life hits you sometimes, and it sucks. Whether it's losing a job, whether it's financial obligation that you're unable to meet, whether it's a medical situation that just hits you. There's tons of things in life, guys, that are gonna smack us in the face. But you need to know where your layer's at. You need to know, as the hero of your story, when it's time to go ahead and go back into your den, into your lair, and gather yourself. Because sometimes that can be very serene, gives you serenity. Sometimes it can rebuild your strength. You're able to rejuvenate your battery, recharge. We all need that. We all need that time just to go ahead and take a moment to ourselves. It's enjoyable, it is. But I want you to think about it not so much as isolation, but insulating yourself. Insulating yourself so that when you hit the world again, you're able to take care of it. You're able to manage it a lot better without wanting to go ahead and go back to a substance, whatever it is, so quickly. I know for me, during my times of isolation, I really had to focus on myself, retraining my brain, retraining the way that I think so that I could become a new person out of the old person that I was, the addict that was Nico. I had to develop skills and habits and routines. And the only way to do that was by spending time by myself. Now, it sucks again. I'm not going to discount that factor. And it's not always fun, but it's helpful. It's helpful because you are able to recharge. You are able to get back to being your best. And in the story that you have, your story of recovery, I'm just here to guide you a little bit and say that it's okay to become isolated as long as you're insulating yourself. It's not okay to become isolated because that could be very damaging to yourself. We all need people. We all need to talk on the phone to somebody, chat it up through a text message with somebody. We need that because as human beings, we need to be called, we need to be a part of a tribe, need to be part of a community. For some of us, addiction and substance abuse came about because we wanted to be accepted, because we wanted to go ahead and be included in a group. I know for me, that was one of the big reasons why I felt out of place a lot of my life. A lot of time growing up, due to sexual abuse that happened to me, I felt just weird. And cruising around with the homies smoking a blunt when I was 14 years old, that was part of my community. I felt accepted. Again, one of the reasons why I probably started using more and more was because I felt okay knowing that when I was getting high with somebody, they were getting high as well, so we at least had this shared experience. That shared experience isn't good because of the substance itself, but shared experiences are good when they're positive. So again, know when it's time to go back into your lair, your den, because you are the hero of your story. And at the end of the day, you're going to either isolate yourself to become more insulated, regain that strength, that serenity, or you're going to isolate yourself because you're a substance abuser, you're an addict that somebody has kicked out, somebody doesn't want to be around. You're not welcome, not because of who you are, but because of what the substance has been applied to in your life. It's different, guys, for everybody. But at the end of the day, the story ends in two ways. One, you either strengthen yourself by insulating yourself with good people around you, or crash, burn, you end up failing, you end up becoming so isolated and caught up in your own brain that you lose your shit. I've had that happen to myself. I've lost my shit plenty of times because of substances. I've made myself very ostracized because of substances, because I thought I knew what was right. It wasn't the case. I know that I need to be a part of a community, and now I'm a part of a great community. It's wonderful. And I hope that that happens for you too. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here to do recovery for you. I'm not here to get you clean. Only you can make that decision. I'm just here to guide you a little bit, because I know what it's like to have no halo.